Chimbo Zoten Yume Yazon Limo Chimbo Abjad Bagadon on Zondo Yermedo Dumbatu Jala Kibjanza Yondo Sanji Gandanyam Nayan Guatan Sanji Lijala Bengor and Zavila Mayan La Survan the Sunday Lorna Chula Jay Tessending Jena Chechi Janyar Zome Hoyer Jelaso Senjandon Lanyar the Davana Dambanam Jenim the Zarda So. Good morning. Okay, do you have the image, the picture, Well of Life? So first of all, I would like to say welcome to all of you to the teachings, and thank you very much for coming. And today I'm going to talk about the so-called Will of Life. If you are Buddhist, you know this picture, this image. But in order to talk about the Will of Life, we need to understand what is life and what is purpose of life and why are we in this situation. What else? Where are we going? And do our lives have any meaning? And how should we make use of our life? So when you look at this image, this picture, then all these questions that I said, all of these questions about this meaning of life are addressed in a very, very famous this Buddhist pointing, the picture, the Buddhist this picture, this Well of Life. In Tibetan, we say sipé, khorlo. And people believed that this image is designed by Buddha himself, and it reminds his student what is life and what is samsara and what is nirvana. So actually, this picture actually tells us what is samsara and what is nirvana. And Buddha really sort of encouraged this painting to be painted outside every Buddhist temple and monasteries. The reason for this to be painted on the outside of all the Buddhist temple was to teach the profound Buddhist philosophy of life. Therefore, this image is just for communicating Buddhist philosophy to general Buddhist people. So you will see this painting at the door of Tibetan temples if you go to Tibet. Each temple has this painting and this picture, the well of life. And as an introduction to the well of life, sipé khorlo, I would like to talk about Buddhist first, Buddhist definition of life, because in order to talk about this sipé khorlo, well of life, you need to understand what is life. From the Buddhist perspective on life, every time we talk about life, it is something that goes around and around. That's why it's called the well of life. Well of life, or sipé khorlo. Sipé has many meanings, Sipé khorlo. First, you have to know this is Sanskrit, say, English, well of life, and then Tibetan we say sipé khorlo. So sipé means possible and becoming, which means this life is continuation of becoming. And also, sipé means temporal. It means life is temporary. Nothing is truly existing. It means it is impermanent. It is impermanent. It's always sort of taking different shapes and is changeable, right? Changeable. Therefore, it's temporary. Sipé means. And sipé also means living beings. Living beings means, who has mind, right? Living beings, sipé. And sipé also means the state of intermediate, which is something in between, For example, right now, this very moment we have is in between, means past and the future. As you know, according to Buddhism, this is the most important moment that we have. So it's in between. Sipé also means in between. So this moment is very, very important. What we do and how we handle this moment is all that matters. And whenever we're between two moments, that is we call sipé. Okay? Right now, we are in between the time when we are born and the time when we die. So in between, we are in between this moment. So this is called the intermediate state of life. Okay? So this life, this moment is the most important that we have. And it contains all of the appearance that we go through from birth, all of our lives, and finally until we are faced with death. So that is the nature of life in this life, nature of this life. Okay? So life is important, so we all have to appreciate our lives rather than sort of blame, ourselves. So right now, the quality of life is diminishing. All these teachings and methods The point is here a common goal of helping people to become a good human beings and lead a better life. There are different people, different animals, and different beings in this world. Basically, I always say this, we are all beings. It means everyone wishes and wants to achieve happiness, whether you are Buddhist or not, whether you believe past and future life or not. Whoever we are, we need happiness. We need freedom from suffering. And we need great joy and fun. Now, you see, sipé has this so many different meanings. Sipé is sipé and khorlo. Sipé, in this case, in wheel of life, we say wheel of life. Wheel is khorlo, which means goes around. There is no beginning or end. Sipé is life, wheel of life. In Tibet, in this case, sipé is life, right? But sipé has, so many meaning. So now all of these sort of connotations of Tibetan sipé all together we can call samsara or wheel of life. Okay? That is the name for this image, wheel of life. In Tibetan, sipé and khorlo. Do you understand? Sipé has so many meanings, but this case we say life, wheel of life. Once you understand the meaning of sipé and khorlo, the name, then now on the image, at the top right of the painting, you see there is a Buddha, okay? He is standing and his right hand is pointing to a moon on the other side at the top left. You see, Buddha is standing and the other side there is a moon. What is that? This is, the moon symbolizes liberation, nirvana, enlightenment. So Buddha is sort of pointing out that freedom from suffering is possible if we understand this well of life. That is the meaning. He sort of show us there is a moon, the other side, so that the moon symbolizes the freedom from suffering. That's it. That's the meaning of the moon. Okay? If we understand the wheel of life, then it is possible, to attain liberation, possible to, free from all this suffering. So, you see, the Buddhist goal or purpose of life is to get the moon and put a liberation flag on the moon, Because Buddha has been on the moon already. That's why he knows, That's why he shows us this path, this liberation. So he knows how to get there, right? He knows how to get there. So it means like he pointing out, with his right hand, oh, you can do that. You can get there. Because I've been there, right? So that's very important to understand these two images, moon and Buddha. You see how many people have been to the moon? Not many, not many, because in order to get the moon, it's very difficult, right? Very difficult, very expensive, right? And then the whale itself shows us how to recognize our own condition and the fundamental sort of question of how and why we are born into these different realms. Now, the basic problem starts in the middle of the wheel. Okay, you have to look at the picture. Okay, so now in the very center, you see there are three different animals. Okay, a pig, a rooster, and a snake. They symbolize ignorance, desire, and hatred. Because for the ordinary person like us, we are sort of continuously under the control of these three animals, especially this pig. Okay? You know, the pig, I know pigs are very smart animals, right? But I think a pig is chosen here because pigs are always sort of maybe like looking down or, in the mud, something to eat, right? Or because they have intelligence, but they don't use it. Otherwise, I don't know why this pig is here, because pig is very smart, very smart. When I was very young, I thought, oh, pigs are very ignorant because we see this, right? All the time. And then the scientists say, oh, pigs are the most smart, like animals. So I think, then I'm thinking, why? Do you know why pig is here? Why? I mean, this represents, like it's ignorance, right? The pig is represent ignorance. Why? Do you know?
I've always liked to think that pigs have like the capacity to have religion.
Yeah, it doesn't give the answer. What the pig is represent here ignorance, right? Yeah.
I think one reason I've heard is they live in filth and they eat anything.
Okay.
Genetically, pigs are some of the closest animals to human beings' DNA. So oftentimes, if humans need new body parts, they can use them from pigs for humans. So actually, we're very close to pigs.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean like pig is represent ignorance.
But maybe it just means that humans are close to pigs.
Humans are not ignorant, though. We have these three afflictions. Not only human beings, though, animals and living beings, all living beings under the control, these three afflictions: ignorance, desire, and hatred. So, therefore, the pig is very important here. It is the foundation of this whole will and life, because it is the source of everything. This pig is the root of us taking birth in life after life into this well of life. So therefore, it is the root of samsara, root of will of life. And dualistic grasping gradually becomes stronger, and we believe we are more important than others. And then we sort of, differentiation between ourselves and others. So that is what is known as ego cleaning. Okay? As the dualistic mind becomes stronger, then our ego cleaning becomes habitual. And then we develop these habitual patterns. We love our positions. When we are experiencing some pleasant situations, we want them and we feel attached to them. We always want something. That is known as attachment, right? Attachment, and that is desire. And we don't care about others very much. And from that arises anger. So we see something unpleasant that doesn't fit with our wish. When we are experiencing unpleasant situation, as a result of these circumstances, we experience displeasure in our mind. That is anger. That's why the snake is here. And we usually forget that we have a mind. Usually we forget we have a mind. When I say this, maybe you will think that I always remember my mind. But when I say usually we forget that we have a mind, means are we constantly aware of what is happening? Maybe not. So it's difficult to constantly aware what is happening. So these constant sort of distractions of continuously, unconsciously living is what Buddhists call ignorance. Right? So continuously not living consciously is one of the agents that causes us to spin, ceaselessly around and around. And this continuous lack of mindfulness, because we forget all the time what is happening. We're not aware, right? So lack of awareness, lack of mindfulness leads us and result in birth and death. So the basic ignorance is not just conceptual ignorance, but it is described as a state with no awareness at all. So nothing is clear, which we call ignorance. That's why the pig is here. That ignorance becomes the cause of all these samsaric sort of delusions. Okay? That's why the ignorance, the root of samsara, is this pig, this ignorance. And out of this not knowing and wrong views, then we create the most powerful, two emotions. That is, how, desire and anger start to develop. And then this leads to hope and fear. And when our hope is very strong and powerful, then it becomes attachment and desire, which is represented here by the rooster. And when our fear is strong and powerful, becomes aggression and anger, which is represented here by the snake. So these three afflictions or three unwholesome roots are the most Buddhist point of view, the dangerous afflictive thoughts and emotions possible if they are not sort of transformed. They're very dangerous afflictions and emotions, So they are very dangerous. That's why they're the central. That's the center. Okay, they're central of the way of life. That's how we start our life, with these emotions. So what can we do about these emotions? Meditation, practice meditation. That's how we take care of these three animals. One of great teacher Nyingma, Karma Langba's, his teacher teaching says that when you find yourself in the intermediate state of life, this life, which is now, he says that you need to practice Dharma diligently by listening, contemplating, and practicing. So these are the three wisdoms, okay? The wisdom of learning, the wisdom of contemplating, and the wisdom of meditating. So, which will give us some sort of personal experience of practice. So we have this quality, we have these negative emotions, but also we have these three wisdoms. So these three wisdoms, learn, contemplate, meditating, these are the antidote. These are how we take care of these animals. Otherwise, we can't do anything, We just control, under this negative thoughts, emotions. So, the Buddhist purpose of life is to understand the truth, the truth of impermanence, the truth of impermanence, the truth of the nature of life. That's this picture telling us, But not knowing the real nature of truth, we are generating desire for what we like. We, generating hatred for what we don't like. Therefore, these three, ignorance, desire, hatred are called the three unwholesome thoughts and three negative emotions. They are the root of everything, this life, this way of life. So usually, we have in this mistaken view that everything, we think, everything is permanent. When we wake up in the morning, and then we do whatever and then in the evening, all our thoughts, we have this mystic, wrong view because of the ignorance, everything, we think everything is permanent, then we accumulate negative karma, everything is changing, but not knowing this view of the cause of effect, everything is changing because cause and effect, but we don't know, not knowing the true nature of the reality is what we call ignorance, what we call delusion, Because of delusion and out of its, resultant desire and anger, sometimes we do good things, sometimes we do bad things. Okay? Now, the outside of these animals, then you see the picture. So sometimes we do good things, as I said, sometimes we do bad things, right? So that is symbolized in the light and dark half circles, which indicate virtuous and non-virtuous actions that are motivated by those three animals: attachment, anger, ignorance. So you see the image in the dark half circle. There are some people facing downward in order to indicate that negative actions lead to lower states. Okay? And in the white light, there is light, the white color, half circle, there are people facing upward to indicate the virtuous actions lead to higher states. And as a result of this too, then we experience what we call six realms, okay? Which are the God realms, demigod realms, and human realm. These are the result of accumulation of good karmic merit, which is, you see, the white, the half circle. Those people are going to these realms, God, demigod, and human realms. And then we have the animal realm, hungry ghost realm, and hell realm. And these are the result of accumulation, negative karma. And then dark, the half circle, the people goes facing downwards. That's this people goes to these realms. So these are the result of accumulation of negative karma. Okay? Now, when we're talking about these six realms, in Buddhism, especially Mahayana Buddhism, we don't really sort of believe in the true sort of existence of some of these realms. For example, usually like people believe that the hill realm is underneath, somewhere underneath in this earth, right? But you see, maybe you wrote the Shantadewa. Shantadewa is the guide to the Bodhisattva's way of life. He says clearly, he asks, who constructed the weapons in the hill? And who devised the floor of heated, iron, So then how do we explain the hill realm, for instance? All of that has arisen from the evil mind. That's what Buddhists believe. So there is nothing else in the hell realm except an evil mind. So these realms can be experienced and happening every day in our life. For example, if like God realms, like for instance, if I am like full of pride, and I am sort of arrogant out of my selfish mind, then I am actually experiencing like a God realm. And this is because, this is the realm of enjoyment, pleasure, or pleasant things. Therefore, they are full of pride. We are the best. And if I feel like jealousy, then I'm experiencing then demigod realms. They are full of jealousy. If I'm, dissatisfied, not sort of content and having sort of endless, insatiable desires or attachment, then I'm experiencing the human realm. And if I'm angry for no reason, and my mind is out of control with anger, then I'm in the hell realm, for sure. I'm talking about the 6 realms, okay? So, if I'm very like a stingy person, and I feel like I can't spend, my money for food, for my needs, then I'm experiencing the hungry ghost realm, And if I have no recognition of the reality, then I am an animal realm. So something like that. That's just an idea, okay? So that's just So what I'm trying to say is that within one day, or even within 1 hour, we travel through all of these 6 realms. Okay? If you really don't understand what is happening. So remember, these are the caused by this pay. Okay? All of these 6 realms caused by this ignorance. Okay? Therefore, these afflictive thoughts and emotions can be very, very dangerous if we don't transform them. Okay? Because as long as we have, as I said, hope and fear, then they give us all kinds of emotions. So our everyday experience actually, reinforce all of these emotions. We develop these emotions every single day. So therefore, they are stronger, stronger, stronger every single day. That's just 24 hours within us. Ignorance, attachment, and what is the one? Anger. Yeah. So these are very dangerous if we don't know. How to diminish, how to take care of them, then you see. Now I'm done with the. If you look at the picture, Buddha, the moon, very important. And then we have the center of the image. We have 3 animals, which is ignorance, attachment, and anger. And then this dark and white, the half circle, people facing upward, people facing down. These 2 are how we do. Like we accumulate negative karma every day, right? Every single day we accumulate negative karma. And also we do good things, positive karma. So that, then there's, you see there's 6 realms there, okay? the half circle, black and white, then around there are six realms there, okay? Because the six realms, God, demigod, human, and then we have animal, hungry ghost, and then hell realm. So these are six realms. Because of the negative, we accumulate negative, the unvirtuous or virtuous. So that's the result of, then we have their six realms. So that's kind of, how, that's why we are in this situation. So the next question is, where are we going? That's the thing, okay? So I will tell you more about that. And now, meditate for a few minutes. Since we're talking about these three emotions, especially ignorance, I think maybe if we meditate and I would practice the self-awareness and impermanence, I think it would be very good. So, wisdom, okay? Karma Longpa's, the treasure teaching says that this situation, right now we are in between, intermediate state of life. So this time we need to learn contemplating and meditating. So these three wisdoms we need to practice, is to develop these three wisdoms. So in order to meditate self-awareness, we need to sort of turn our attention to the self-awareness of our mind and then relax. If you have a self-awareness but you are not relaxed, then again these three emotions will arise and control you, right? So just to recognize self-awareness and then relax on that. It's very simple. So here, your awareness is whatever you are experiencing at the moment. And that recognition is your awareness. Usually we forget that we have a mind. Means we are not aware of what is happening. And inside of us or outside, we are usually not aware. So this self-awareness will help you to, recognize, this awareness, your awareness, recognize what is happening. So focus your attention on that recognition. There is no visualization, but just turn your attention to this, to your self-awareness, and then recognize the clarity there. So then you meditate and then you relax on that. And then sometimes if you want to practice like impermanence is very important. As I said, we are in this situation because we don't understand the true nature, of everything. Because we have permanent view, this wrong view. So then once you sort of meditate self-awareness and then you recognize, and it makes your mind really clear and peaceful, and then you meditate on that for a few minutes, right? And then if If you want to practice impermanence, or if you want to just continue practice self-awareness, that's fine. It's up to you. But if you want to practice after that, like practice impermanence, then usually think about, like, for instance, great people, great teachers, great people. Each of them was born and come to this earth, did good things, but each of them died. Now we just know only their names, that's all. They died because they were born. That's the thing. They died because they're born. So end of birth is death. Okay? Similarly, think about your family, your friends. Each of them same way. Maybe they died, maybe they are going to. Same way. And then similarly, our lives. You know, for instance, if I have like 10 years life, 1 week passed, 1 month passed, and 1 year passed, like that. It's getting sort of, shorter and shorter. We don't usually recognize these things. We don't usually think of these things, We make plans for like 20, 30, 50, 40 years, but you never know. So that means like you have this permanent mind. So that binds you, it's like then this desire, attachment, all of that. So you are not actually doing, the will of life tells us, what are you doing now? Where are you? Why are you in this situation? That's when you see it, this picture. Don't think that when you go to, for instance, Tibetan temple, you see this picture, oh, that's weird, that's strange. Don't think that. That's ignorance if you think. This has amazing, of course it's designed Buddha himself, has amazing meaning. This actually tells everything, samsara and nirvana, and our life. That's all, that's if you understand. So you have to keep what is each and every single this the painting, this picture, you have to understand what is this meaning, what is this and this, So this tells us like you're born and you're going to die. That's actually the picture about, So we need to understand end of birth is death. So our life is every single day shorter and shorter. Okay? Usually we have actually like at least 100 or 135 years. We have this, our life, this body, this mind has that capacity. We can alive for more than 100 years, but people almost like, few people maybe, he or she is 100 years old. Wow, good for him, Most people know 70, 80, 90 gone because we just don't understand, I think, the sensitiveness of our body. We don't care our body. We don't care our mind. All of that. And then we have, even though we have you have 10 years life, but then you do these things, make shorter actually your life, and then worse, and then shorter and shorter. And then you don't do anything, good for yourself, good for others. Then, the Kardanba master says it's like a cow killer, who taken a cow to the place of execution, and then the cow is closer and closer his death, step by step. That's like us, That's about, like death is like sudden, very sudden, and we can see the death of others too, but We can see, think about our teachers, think about good people, think about even like our family, parents, brother, sister, whatever, our friends, we understand all of that. They are gone. We saw that, but not our own, we see. So what should we do? It's so important. Are we sort of, living in such a way that we can die without regret? How much do we have positive thoughts? That's the thing. Positive thoughts, this means, like bodhicitta mind. How much do you have, like this positive thoughts, love and compassion, So the thing, this picture, Wheel of Life, tells us, do we have a meaningful life? That's the question. Do we have a meaningful life? You see the white and dark, this half circle, where are you? Are you in the dark circle or are you in the black circle? That's the question, I think. We have to think about it, So this picture talking about our life, nothing else. Don't think, oh, this is like Buddhist thing. No, this picture good for everybody. Talking about, everybody, no matter. There's no religion involved this picture. It's just talking about, your negative thoughts, negative emotions, your life. Good people. It's talking about good people, bad people, everything like that. So the question is actually, do we have a meaningful life? That's all. That's all. If we don't, then what should we do? So that's how you practice impermanence, kind of, like analytical, meditation, we call it. You have to, in order to practice impermanence, you have to first, this Karma Langba says, learn, contemplating, and then meditating, So, focus on, like alternate between looking at your awareness, as I said, okay? And then relax, and then thinking about impermanence like that, okay? So, if you do this meditation, not just once, but many, many times, you just relax, look at your mind, focus on your awareness, develop, and recognize what is happening, all of that, and then relax, and then think about impermanence, practice all of that, and then you perceive all the objects without grasping and desire. That's the result, without attachment. Why am I attached to this? This is impermanent. I'm going to lose it at any time, even my own body. Why am I attached to my body? But at the same time, you have this recognition that helps you taking care of, So that's how you see this anger, attachment, ignorance, all these three animals, So when you meditate like that, impermanence, and then it helps, everything without grasping, without desire, without attachment, And by doing that over and over again, your meditation practice begins to turn your, directly sort of towards Dharma, towards practice meditation, and without regrets. Then you have meaningful life. How you stay without wander away and do things, try to help people, No matter one or two people, doesn't matter, right? So you need sort of this kind of great motivation. This great motivation is makes your life meaningful, So never think that impermanence is negative. Impermanence, thinking about impermanence is so positive, so helpful, you know. So, okay, meditate on that for a few minutes, please. You ready? First of all, just relax both your body, your mind. Just relax. Bring your mind into your body, you know. Don't worry. If you have lots of thoughts, don't worry. Just try to relax and bring your mind back into your body and just to relax. There is no visualization this moment. Just relax and try to recognize self-awareness. Self-awareness is you know, it's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing, you know. So and then just focus on that and relax on that. And then your thoughts arise, then don't follow them. Instead, then thinking about, meditate on impermanence for a while. And then if you feel like too much thinking, then go back and relax on your self-awareness for a few minutes, please.